If you think your diamond or platinum status is going to save you, I'm sorry. Cruise lines have quietly rewritten the rulebook. That status you spent years earning? In 2026, it might not be worth as much as you think. Welcome to the new system where loyal customers are being devalued. Let me show you exactly what you are about to lose. Hi, I'm Uma. For years, I've been standing right here, behind this shiny reception desk on the high seas. While you are out there enjoying your vacation, my colleagues and I are back here reading the new memos, the changing regulations, and the budget cuts disguised as enhancements. Usually, we are told to just smile and tell passengers, it's for your own good. But today, I'm putting that fake customer service smile aside. Because the plans for the 2026 season include some of the most aggressive changes I have ever seen. And honestly, some of them are going to make you really angry. Today, we are going to talk about the 6 major changes written in the fine print of the brochures, or sometimes not written at all. These are changes targeting your wallet, the food on your plate, and yes, that loyalty card you are so proud of. If you are ready, let's dive into the truths the cruise lines don't want you to know. Section 1. The Loyalty Program Earthquake. First, let's start with the most sensitive topic, that feeling of betrayal I mentioned at the start. Loyalty programs. I know you spent years and thousands of dollars to earn that gold, platinum, or diamond card. You love the feeling of slapping that card on the counter when you come to reception. We love it too, because a loyal customer used to mean everything to us. Or at least it used to. 2026 is going to be the year of a massive restructuring for loyalty programs. And this shift might be a bit of a shock, especially for Carnival Cruise Line passengers. Carnival is shelving its long-running VIFP, Very Important Fun Person program, and replacing it with a new system called Carnival Rewards. Now you might say, Uma, what's the big deal about a name change? The problem isn't the name, it's the logic. It used to be that the more nights you spent at sea, the higher your status climbed. So, whether you stayed in a budget-friendly interior cabin or a suite, the time you gave us made you valuable. It was a fair trade, your time for status. But in the new system, the rules of the game are changing. Now everything depends on how much you spend. We call this the pay-to-play model. It's no longer just about your cruise fare. It's about how much cash you drop in the onboard shops, the bars, and the casino. That is what will determine your status. Let me translate what this means from an employee's perspective. If you are a modest retired couple who has been sailing with us for 20 years but watches your spending, earning status is about to get much harder. But someone who steps onto a ship for the first time and blows thousands of dollars in the casino or luxury boutiques, they are going to climb the loyalty ladder much faster than you. Loyalty is no longer pegged to years, it's pegged to dollars. Of course, after the backlash, they said current platinum and diamond members would keep their status. But this means the door is closing for new loyal cruisers entering the system in the future. Among the crew, we talk about it like this. Loyalty programs no longer reward loyalty, they reward profitability. Now, it's not all bad news. To be fair, over at the Royal Caribbean Group, things are moving in a slightly different and more positive direction. With a new system called Points Choice, they are integrating your status across Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Silversea. So, points earned on one brand count on the others. This is great for brand hoppers. But the general trend in the industry is clear. Cruise lines are looking at their databases and asking, who leaves us the most cash? And in 2026, the definition of a valued guest is being rewritten based on that answer. Section 2. The Food Wars and Extra Fees. If you've put your loyalty card back in your pocket, let's go get something to eat. Or maybe not. Because things are changing in the dining rooms too. A waiter friend of mine was venting to me on his break the other day. Uma, he said, I'm tired of saying no to passengers. Why? Because Norwegian Cruise Line, NCL, and some other companies have started charging for extra entrees in the main dining room. Remember how it used to be? You'd look at the menu, couldn't decide between the shrimp or the steak, and your waiter would flash that wonderful smile and say, "Why don't I bring you both?" That was one of the greatest luxuries of a cruise vacation, the feeling of abundance. Now, when you ask for that second plate, a $5 surcharge is slapped onto your account. Officially, the companies call this a food waste reduction policy. Sounds very noble, doesn't it? We're saving the environment. But those of us on the inside know the truth. This is part of the strategy we call nickel and dimming. Do you know what's worse? Some passengers have told us they were charged this fee even when they sent back a dish they didn't like and asked for a replacement. Imagine that. The food is bad, you change it, and you pay a penalty for it. That is a service failure. And it's not just the main dining room. Room service is in the line of fire too. Remember those free breakfast trays left at your door? Now, on most lines, that comes with a delivery fee. On Norwegian, this fee is around $4.95 for breakfast and goes up to $12.99 for the rest of the day. We are even seeing limits on how many items you can order, like one hot and one cold dish per person. My observation is this: cruise lines aren't starving you. The buffet is still there and it's free. But they are stopping serving you. Sitting down and being pampered by a waiter is becoming an extra luxury. That feeling of being special, which used to be included in your standard ticket, is slowly being taken off the menu. Section 3, Menu Engineering and the Invisible Housekeeper. But the problem with food isn't just that $5 extra charge. The real problem is the invisible change happening right inside your plate. When I talk to my friends in the galley, the chefs, they mention a term, menu engineering. This is a sneaky tactic you will encounter much more often in 2026. Have you noticed? The free menu in the main dining room used to have a classic section available every night. A nice steak, a shrimp cocktail, or French onion soup that you could always order. That section is quietly disappearing or being simplified. Companies are slowly removing high-cost proteins from the complimentary menu. The goal is very simple: to make you look at the menu, think, there's nothing special here, and steer you right across the hall to the steakhouse, where you pay $50 per person. So they don't starve you, but they condemn you to mediocrity and force you to pay extra for flavor. If you notice portions getting smaller or the quality of the sides dropping, that is not a chef's mistake. That is corporate policy. And when you return to your room from dinner, another silent cut awaits you: housekeeping. What used to be the biggest luxury of a cruise vacation? Having your room cleaned twice a day. You leave in the morning, come back, and your bed is made. You go to dinner, come back, and your bed is turned down with a little chocolate on the pillow and a cute towel animal waiting for you. You felt like royalty. I'm sorry, but those days are fading. Giants like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian have quietly reduced cleaning services in standard cabins from twice a day to once a day. Now, you are asked to choose between morning cleaning or evening service. Those chocolates on the pillow? They became a victim of cost savings, too. Companies hide behind the shield of sustainability to answer this. They say, "We wash less to protect the environment, we prevent paper waste." That is a great excuse. For example, those paper daily planners that were left in your room every evening. Most ships don't print them anymore. They are forcing you to use the ship's mobile app. If you are over 60 and you prefer marking up the day's activities on a paper newsletter while drinking your coffee rather than staring at a small phone screen, this is a service cut for you. I see thousands of passengers coming to reception complaining, "My newsletter didn't arrive." Our standard answer: "Have you downloaded the app, sir?" You see, sustainability is very important. I don't object to that. But cruise lines are using it as the perfect camouflage to cut personnel costs. Fewer cleaners, fewer printing costs. You get less service, they make more profit, and they call it saving the planet. Don't be surprised if you walk into your cabin in 2026 and find no top sheet on your bed, because under the guise of European-style bedding, that has been added to the savings list too. Section 4. The all-inclusive lie and goodbye to perks. Now, let's get to the major change that is shaking the industry and making us question the very concept of all-inclusive. Here, we turn our eyes to giants like Virgin Voyages and Princess. When Virgin Voyages launched, we were all excited. Gratuities included, no surprises, no complicated rules, they said. Even we employees said, wow, finally honest pricing. But the honeymoon is over, folks. Virgin Voyages has quietly removed that beloved gratuities included in the price policy. Now, gratuities, or tips, are added to your bill as a separate line item, just like traditional cruise lines, costing about $20 to $22 per person per day. For a couple on a 7-day vacation, that means an extra cost of about $300 suddenly added to your budget. Virgin's rebellious and different attitude has given way to industry standards. And that's not all. They changed the ticket structure too. Now there are categories like base, essential, and premium. While everyone used to board the ship on equal terms, now everything from your Wi-Fi speed to your dining reservation priority is classified by which package you bought. Invisible walls are being built inside the ship. Over at Princess Cruises, there is the non-refundable deposit trap. Princess lowered cruise fares a bit, yes, but they made the non-refundable option the default booking choice. What does this mean? If you book early for 2026 and 6 months later you have to cancel due to a health issue or a job change, that deposit is gone. Say goodbye to it. Flexibility has now become an expensive option you have to purchase. Section 5. The private island trap. Now, let's step onto dry land for a moment. The private islands, white sands, turquoise waters. Looks like paradise, right? Companies are investing billions into these islands. Why? Because they want to keep your money in their own pockets even when they let you off the ship. But in 2026, there is a big game changer here too. Big investments are being made at Norwegian Cruise Line's private island, Great Stirrup Cay, a new pier, a massive pool area. It looks amazing, but there is a tiny detail. If you have the free at sea beverage package on the ship, meaning you already prepaid for your drinks starting March 1st, 2026, that package will be invalid on the island. Yes, you heard that right. You can waive that expensive package at the bar on the ship and get your drink. But 10 minutes later, when you step onto the island and lie on your lounge chair, you will have to pull out your wallet to pay for that same drink or buy a completely separate island-specific beverage package. This is what many passengers see as double taxation, and it's going to be one of the hardest things for us staff to explain. We'll have to say, "Sorry, sir, that package is only valid on the water, not on the sand." And then there is Royal Caribbean's new Royal Beach Club concept. Opening in Nassau and other ports in the future, these clubs are turning the private island experience into a paid luxury beach experience. Entrance fees are expected to be around $170 per person. So, after paying thousands for your cruise ticket, a system is being set up where you are expected to pay hundreds more just to swim and lie on a quality lounge chair. Section 6. Invisible taxes and the green bill. Finally, let's look at the very bottom of your invoice, that section no one reads called taxes and fees, because in 2026, this section is going to swell up. The biggest shock is coming from Hawaii. Starting in 2026, Hawaii is preparing to introduce a brand new tourist tax or fee specifically for cruise passengers. And this isn't just $3 or $5. In some cases and itineraries, depending on how long the ship spends in Hawaiian waters, a significant percentage could be added on top of your ticket price. According to one passenger's calculation, this could mean an additional cost of up to $600 for a couple. The industry has filed a lawsuit against this, but if you are planning to go to Hawaii, increase your budget now. It's not just Hawaii. The green transition has started in Europe. The European Union's emission rules are tightening. Ships have to use cleaner fuel or pay emission taxes. So, who will these billion-dollar companies pass this cost on to? You, of course. Fuel surcharges and environmental taxes will become a standard part of your invoice in 2026. Also, popular ports like Venice, Santorini, and Amsterdam are limiting the number of daily tourists or imposing extra entry taxes. This creates the risk of both more money coming out of your pocket and your ship skipping that port you really wanted to see due to route changes. Outro. Now, let's take a deep breath. I know I've painted a bit of a gloomy picture, but my goal isn't to discourage you. My goal is to make you a smart cruiser. As Uma, I don't want you to face surprises when you step onto the ship. Cruise lines are changing their business models. They are moving from an all-inclusive, worry-free vacation model to a low-entry price, everything inside is extra model, basically the airline model. So, what can you do? 1. Stop seeing loyalty programs as the only criteria. Do a price-to-value analysis. 2. Don't fall into the non-refundable trap when booking. You never know what life will bring. 3. And most importantly, speak up. Companies look at surveys and spending habits. If everyone stops ordering that $5 second meal, that fee will disappear. Vote with your wallet. What do you think about these changes? Is there a point, especially regarding the loyalty program shifts and dining fees, where you say, that's enough? Let's meet in the comments, because trust me, the executives at headquarters are curious about what you think too. I'm Uma, and in the next video, I'll be back with other secrets the cruise staff is forbidden to tell you. Until then, pack smart and keep an eye on your bill. Happy cruising!